So the question is it possible to run your business without social media? Especially if you hate just the thought about being constantly on social media, adding to the noise. So my name is Inga Dexne, and I have this conversation with my lovely friend Gosia. We will put the link to the previous video where we started this conversation about how to run your business so you are more visible to your audience and you are enjoying running your business, so you are fulfilling your soul's purpose. And I think what has discovered, I am fanatic of social media, right? And Gosia is representing people who are more reserved about social media. They're not that crazy yet about social media. And so answering the question, so what to do? You don't like being on social media. You don't like the noise created by social media, but part of you is afraid of missing out by not being representing there. So, and technically, you don't need to be on social media to run a successful business. I personally believe it would be a shortcut. You can do it quicker using social media correctly. But if it kind of, makes you cringe every time you think about social media, it's difficult to overcome yourself. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. You need to make a decision. So if you decide, you know what, social media is not for me, then you need to find alternatives. It means that you need to be inventive with your ways, how you show up. You attend networking meetings, you create connections with people who have social media audience, and they will organize the possibility for you to become visible to more people. So they become your channel. You can do live events. So you invite people to come to your place. However, again, using social media, it would be easier to spread the message about your social media. But you need to be clear that if you know for sure that it's not for you, then you don't need to. But you need to be aware that other avenues that you choose may require more time, may require more money. Question to you, Gosia. If you look at your idea, your mission, is it social media vital to the point that you will learn how to fall in love with it, that we talked in our previous video, or you're willing to find different ways and not trying to torture yourself?
Excellent question, Inga. Well, do you know, I think that the most important thing in this whole conversation is to be very clear whether the fact that you dislike it, hate it, is because it completely is not your path, or because there is a lot of fear there. And I think that the best thing to do is to make peace with where you truly are, okay? So I have built a very successful business where 99% of my income would come from word of mouth. So I actually still don't need social media to live a comfortable life. But I would like to be more connected with social media because it will fulfill my biggest desire, which is, what do I really want to do? I want to touch thousands or maybe millions of people to be more confident, to turn the fear into the success, become more intuitive, so they live the best lives. So the legacy they live is the legacy they came here to leave, and they basically did it at the highest possible level. So even my intention is very clear, and it is to reach, let's say, 5 million people in my lifetime and share with them what I came here to do. Then thinking that it will be word of mouth and I will never need to come out of the house to reach them, it's unrealistic. So if I now ask my intuition, which by the way, we're going to be doing in the event in October. we're going to be looking at becoming your business whisperer and finding out what is your next step in sharing your gifts, your talents. Where do you need to go next? What is your best path? Okay, so if I ask my intuition right now, in this very moment, and I ask, show me what part does the social media play in my journey to serve my people, and I ask this question, I'm getting it is 50% improving my relationship with it and 50% developing, improving my programs and everything. So it is not a must, okay, but it is a very balanced 50%.
Just the message came through, and I think it's a perfect demo when you are clear on your mission, when you are clear like the true reason behind why you want or don't want to be on social media, and understanding that your calling is higher and bigger than your fear or dislike. Then you can be very practical about it and decide, okay, I don't need to be on social media. I can outsource it. But here is the caveat. You can't outsource what you don't want. You can outsource only when you made peace with the things that you don't like, social media, but you want to be visible, you want to serve people, then you can easily outsource to somebody who can translate your vision using social media tools. And only then. Never outsource, because please don't tell me anything about social media, just do something there. It needs to be together.
Beautifully said, Inga. And there's one more thing I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to ask you what you think about this. Outsourcing social media or not outsourcing? So here's the thing. So I have a very good friend, and she lives in Croatia, and she's got enormous amount of following. Okay, she's written a second book, and she shows up every single day on Instagram, and she regularly, it's like a heartbeat. And basically there is no effort on her part. It's like a drum beat. She just does it. She doesn't spend a lot of time on it. Maybe, I don't know, half an hour preparing and doing, and that's it. So I was a part of the conversation. And she basically also gave a talk in the group where I belong about how to reach more people on social media. And people are asking, can I outsource, and can I do this, and can I do that? And everybody in the group said, yes, find someone, pay someone, outsource it. And she was the only one, and she was the most successful one. She said, don't outsource. And we asked why. And she said, when I make a post and I write it from my heart, and I channel every single word, and I post it, it reaches the right people vibrationally, and it makes the difference that I want to make. Nobody, but nobody can write the text that I want to write, because it will not come from the right place. And I've experienced it. I've outsourced it. I sometimes ask people to write things for me, and I read it later and my whole blood boiled. It's like, oh my God, I would never say that, or I would never say that in that way. Or people writing maybe my website. It happened once that someone wrote my website, and I was like, oh no, I would never say that. Okay. So here's my question: who is right? Can you outsource your social media, or you do it? You write those posts, you do your videos yourself, and so it's 100% aligned with you. What do you think?
Again, the short answer is yes and no. It depends, because there are a lot of successful people who outsource their social media. Yeah. Gary Vee doesn't do his social media. Yes, he is there, but he doesn't do social media. And I believe what works for that lady, it's because, first of all, it's easy for her to, do those messages, do those videos, and it's easier for her to do social media like that. Whether she can expand and scale the business, it's a different question, right? She can do it on one platform, and a lot of people do this. And because it's her belief, outsourcing wouldn't work for her.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who struggle to create a message the way that it conveys the idea. And for other people to put the message into the right sequence, it's so much easier. And for instance, I have done for my clients, when I give them a basis for the message, they just need to add their own oomph to this message, and it works wonderful, because the hardest part, the beginning, how to formulate, how to bring the hooks, and so it grabs attention. I do the hardest part, and then they put the soul onto the message. And I think it's like a perfect blend how you can do it when it comes to outsourcing. And you can record your messages, for instance, like in your case, and with the website, your messages flow very easily, especially when you talk. However, when you write, you're brilliant as well. And because, so when you write coming from your soul, from the channel. Very often when it comes to the website, to SEO, you need to adapt them to the algorithm. And usually people who think through the algorithm lens, through the SEO, they can do it for you, taking your message, and they package into the right format so it reaches more people when it comes to the website, for instance. And when it comes to social media, for instance, you can record, like you personally, Gosia, you can record your message, and then it can be cut into smaller pieces. Some visual elements can be added, so your voice is heard when there is a beautiful nature scenery, and you don't need necessarily to go to the nature and take video. It can be done for you. However, your essence remains into that message. So what it works for you, it's like my main point, you can't outsource because you don't want to deal with it. You outsource because you want to optimize your time. You want to focus on other things. Like you can expand on different other elements of your business. Because creating a message is not as much time consuming as publishing it. So I'm adding hashtags, for instance. It doesn't need to be done by you.
Got it. So Inga, so in summary, it depends on the person, but be very clear where you're making decision, guys. Am I making this decision because I don't want to deal with it, because I'm afraid of it, because I'm resisting it, because I hate it, or this is going away from, or because I'm going forward because I want this, I'm intending, and this place I am asking someone else to do it because they are better than me, but I'm at peace. There is no resistance, there is no fear, there is no anger, there is no sadness about it. I'm doing what I love, and where someone else can do it a bit better or make it even better, I bring it all together. So we're bringing together the spirit and the logic. And when we combine those two things together, that's when the miracles happen. And we're going to talk about it more at the event on the 5th, 6th and
17th of October. Yes, and by the way, if you happen to watch this video past those dates, it will be a link where you can purchase a digital format of the topics that we covered. So just click the link, whatever the link is below the video. If you have any questions regarding the event, you can ask as well. We've just been talking whether we can run business with social media or we can deal without it. But there is one aspect which some of the business owners ignore when they use social media, and they use social media to post nice quotes, to share their messages, but they forget about essential part of our business, because without this, business doesn't exist. And I invite you to check our next video, because we are going to talk about this essential element without which your business is not a business, it's just a hobby, or sometimes even expensive hobby. So stay tuned and come back to our next video.